English 121, Evidence, from the Allen and Bacon Guide, pages 317 to 321. The term evidence refers to any facts, examples, summaries of research, statistics, testimony, or other relevant data that will persuade readers to accept a writer's claims. Reasons support the thesis, but evidence proves why the reasons are true and should be believed in. Inside the argument, each reason, as well as any unstated assumptions that are made explicit and then defended, needs to be supported either by sub-arguments or by evidence. There are several types of evidence that you should be aware of when analyzing evidence in other people's writing and also working evidence into your own. The first is factual data. This provides the bulk of the persuasive support for many arguments. You can also use examples. These can be specific from personal experience or hypothetical scenarios to illustrate an issue or hypothesize about the consequences of an event. You can also use summaries of research. This is a common way to support an argument if an entire text seems to support your claims. Or you could call on expert testimony, which is quoting an expert directly or paraphrasing that expert's argument. You can use statistics, which provide hard data, quantitative persuasive support for many arguments. Or you could even use sub-arguments. These are used in sequences to develop a persuasive analogy, hypothesize about consequences, or simply advance the argument through a chain of connected points rather than direct empirical evidence. To make your arguments as persuasive as possible, use what rhetorician Richard Fulkerson calls the STAR criteria. There are basically 4 qualities that you want to achieve when testing a piece of evidence for the STAR criteria. The first is sufficiency. You want to ask, is there enough data? Is there enough information here to prove my point? Also consider if the information is typical. Are the chosen data representative of the larger group? Consider if the information is accurate or can be externally verified. Do you believe the data to be true? And finally, is the data relevant? Does it connect to the claims that you're making? Does it make sense for the points that you're trying to prove? In order to achieve these STAR criteria, you also want to be sure to qualify your claims. A strong claim will allow little room for exceptions. On the other hand, a qualified claim requires less rigorous evidence because it leaves room for exceptions to the rule. As you gather evidence, also consider the source to be sure that the data are reliable and will contribute to your ethos as a writer. You want the information you include in your arguments to make you appear more trustworthy and credible.